Hello and welcome back to Peril Outdoors. Today I want to do something a little bit different and introduce you to Old Red, my 1984 F-250, and kind of take you through the journey of the restoration up to this point, and we'll continue on with the rest of it in future videos and a new little series I'm going to do. So Old Red has been in my family since I was 4 years old. My dad bought it in 1988, and it's just been such a good truck that the family couldn't get rid of it. It's the truck I learned to drive in. First one I drove when I got my license, drove it to high school, drove it to college, and figured that it deserved a whole new chance at life. So I decided a couple years ago to strip it down to the frame and do a full frame off restoration on it. I got a little slideshow coming up to kind of show you the process I've done so far. It includes a bunch of rust repair, brand new paint, fully redone the motor, transmission, all of that. In the future, we're going to work on wiring next, and then do new axles, brake systems, get this old topper painted up, and then hopefully have it back on the road here by the end of summer. it. So that's where we're at to this point. Thought I'd fill you in kind of what we've done and where we're going. Right now we've been working on wiring and getting the harness in. What I did is I have a parts truck, an 85 F-150 that is in pretty rough shape, but the wiring harness was fantastic in it. So I pulled that out and went ahead and put it in this one and made it all super easy, being plug and play. Didn't have to worry about chasing wires and figuring out what goes where. I'll go ahead and show you what we've done to this point and kind of lead you into what we have still to do to get this thing wired up and completely finalized. So here we go. Most of the wires ran all the way in to the headlights here. I put a HEI distributor in this. I didn't like that feedback carb on these 80s Fords with the computer. It was just a major headache, so we put the HEI in. Went real simple on the carburetor. Got it all wired in over here. Found the hot wire there to lead to everything else. We still need to get the alternator and the voltage regulator done. But other than that, up front, she's pretty well done. Coming back around here, like I said, this harness is just all kind of plug and play. We got the fuse block in down here, everything in the gauges, everything on the dash, original radio, everything's all working perfectly fine. You know, when you're doing this, the biggest thing I found that I had a problem with was making sure your grounds are in and making sure they're cleaned up and getting good contact. I was really struggling for a while to get the tail lights working, and was able to just use my test light and follow it all the way back and kind of find my problem. So like I said, we're down to getting the voltage regulator and the alternator wired in, and I think next step though before that is we're gonna throw some gas down the carb and see if this whole thing will pop off with the HEI, and if it does, then we're ready to do the alternator and we're ready to move on to the axles and brakes, and this thing will be done. All right, let's go ahead and put some gas in this thing and see if it pops off or not. As Derek would say, way too much. Perfect. Yep, she started. Didn't sound very good in the engine, a little bit of noise, but we'll diagnose that and get back with you when we find some results. Well, it's been a few days since I last tried starting the truck here and had the awful sounds. Did a little research and a little tinkering and found out that one, I had some vacuum leaks that were pretty bad, and two, the HEI distributor I put in was definitely not in on the right timing. I tried to follow the timing marks on the harmonic balancer and it was not quite like it should be. Ended up doing the old screwdriver on the piston trick and got it close. It's not fine-tuned yet. She's close enough to fire up and idle a little rough, but a little more fine-tuning and I think we'll have it ready to roll. That's going to wrap this video up. Stay tuned for future videos where we'll, work on the truck a little more, try to maybe get the rest of that little bit of wiring figured out and maybe get it idle a little better, and then start in on axles and brakes and get it back on the road. So thank you for watching, and please check us out again. Keep up with me, keep up with the progress of the truck and all the other outdoor adventures we do. So have a good one, and we'll see you next time.